All right, we're starting the third hallway hangout for the full sighting outreach program. We've been catching up about usernames thus far. Nothing wild. I briefly want to give a reminder for anyone watching this later about the 6 call for testing. It's basically going through template editing mode, which is a new feature coming to, hopefully coming to 5.8 that basically allows you to switch between editing a post and page versus the actual template that it uses. And the current call for testing just helps you create this kind of cool like landing page for a pretend WordCamp called WordCamp Couch. And yeah, there's a whole testing flow. There's a video, all that good stuff. Feedback is due by May 26th. And on May 26th, I'm also going to be shipping an additional call for testing, also about template editing, likely early stage. Thoughts right now are doing something around like creating a portfolio page using the query block, navigation block, and kind of digging into more of the design approach. Right now, anyone who's actually responded to this call for testing will notice that the post content is missing. And that's because there's a really annoying bug right now that I thought would be resolved with the release today, but at least for 10.6.2, essentially what the problem is, if you add the post content block to the template editor and then delete the post content block, it actually deletes the content of your post content. So rather than just removing the block, it actually like fully deletes.
Yeah.
So I don't know what's going on.
Good.
Not good at all. Yeah, flagged it up. I have not tested it with 10.7, which I think just came out. The RC just came out like a couple hours ago. So I'm gonna follow up on that probably after this. But that's a quick overview of the current call for testing.
Have you ever tried going into the straightforward templates and having to go with editing something which contains post content?
I have edited a little bit. What can you say more about what you're,
Well, I think I put a comment on your post there that I raised something to do with the fact that it just goes into a big old loop and locks up, and so I referenced that in mine. But maybe yours are different because you're doing something even just as weird.
Yeah, I am doing something really weird. Let me think of. I think this one has post content. Yeah, so it has a placeholder for post content, so that works.
Post content, is that intentional?
So that I think is part of the duplication, like the post content block. Like I saw some really weird. This could be user error. So one of the things that's actually kind of interesting that I'm noticing is that the post content block. Actually, we'll just visually show this. This is great. We'll jump right into this. I found like a weird. It's technically not a bug, but it feels like a bug. So if you actually edit this and then, yeah, okay, it doesn't show it. So if I type in, so there's no post content, right? So you'll notice I added the post content block, but the post content block is empty. If I then hit backspace, it actually preserves the post content block because it's like a container block. So there seems to be some weird nesting thing going on, kind of like with the buttons block, where if you remove the buttons block, there's still that container and it like reappears. So I think that might be what's going on is like user error. I forgot my site was in Italian, where I clicking backspace was like, oh, I've reset it when actually it was still set to the post content block. And then now
But can you delete it from there if you're in the list view and have it selected?
If you do this.
Okay, it does delete from there.
Yes, and it actually deletes the content. So that's the other.
That's the other bug.
Yeah, but it is just a weird. I mean, it is kind of edge casey. Like I can't imagine someone messing with the post content block without.
What is it deleting the content on though?
So what do you mean? Like if I
is there like a?
I need to.
Because this is just one page.
So. Okay, yeah, it's not in here yet. So if I add post content, it'll add it in here. And then if I hit delete and then go back, oh, it didn't do it.
But you didn't save it on the other page.
Oh, maybe that's why. Yeah, let me try it again.
So hit save there.
Huh.
No, it's still there.
Maybe is my site on 10.7 already? Let me check.
Isn't that what you sort of
10.7
expect?
hasn't been released yet.
The
It got,
RC got released, yeah.
but it won't get updated
Oh,
here
right.
until the full thing's published.
So now I'm wondering how, because I have a video of doing this exact thing and it messed up. But yeah, some of this duplication, there's just something weird going on. I don't know what.
I thought you were supposed to be able the ability to edit posts. It's just a bit of a surprise, though, isn't it?
Yeah, the fact that you can edit a post content directly in here. That's so interesting. I wonder.
Yeah, there's a issue open for making that more. It's only slightly more explicit by having. You would have to click twice. So when you click once, you'd be selecting that block. But I think.
Oh, this is what it is.
And then you'd have to click again to edit the content of that block, and it works for template parts and for reusable blocks. That issue hasn't gone in yet, but that issue's open.
That's actually one of the things I wanted to go over. I just figured out what the problem is. So kind of if you have like, okay, actually let me add like fake content. It's the same container. It's like the root problem is this container thing. So if I edit the paragraph block and I delete the paragraph block, it's editing, like it's removing from here.
Yeah, well, that's just editing the content because the paragraph block is part of your post content. It's not part of. I'm not saying that's good or bad. It's confusing. I can understand that.
But yeah,
it's
I need
not
to
the
follow
post content block. So I think that's probably what you ended up doing. It was not deleting the post content block.
Just deleting the paragraph block. Yeah.
Yeah. So you probably, when you're doing the backspace, you probably have the paragraph block selected. And you thought you had the post content block selected.
Yeah, this is really
when
confusing.
you hit backspace, you're deleting that post content block and not the or whichever way I was saying it. You'd be deleting the paragraph block in the content. And I think that's where I think this is quite confusing to some degree. I think having a template editing mode where you can't modify content and a content post editing mode where you're modifying the content of a post or a page editing mode makes more sense.
Yeah, let me actually pull up since we're on this topic.
Anyone try to work on a bit more color to help you understand what it is you're working on?
Yeah, and that's the I'm not sure if that's the ticket.
Yeah, because this is like the editability of post content blocks.
So that's one, and then there's a click through one. I can send you the.
I have that somewhere right here. These are the issues I stare at all day.
Reload. Has it changed?
I don't know if it has. Let me find like an early. Okay, we'll try it. This will show it maybe.
Yeah, that's the one.
So this one has like a different color, and you double click to edit. There's also some explorations showing an actual edit button. So yeah, edit reusable block. And this problem applies to template parts, reusable blocks, and the template editor. Like the same exact thing of like in the query block. Like it's like cutting across.
It's the same. It's the same behavior.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it seems that because you can get to the same thing with the query block inside of a template. You can really be editing post content inside of a query block inside of a like.
Which is pretty wild. Yeah, like if I add.
I don't think people will use it. I don't think that will be. It's like a nice feature, but I don't think that's a feature people will want or expect.
You might decide to set your featured image on some of the posts that you're listing in there.
But yeah, like if I add post content here.
Yeah, see, that's actually a good example because if you're building you may want to do it too. Like, right, it depends on what mindset you're in. If you're building a homepage and you're going to say, oh, I want to set these featured images and these are going to be my layout, right? It's more of a static homepage that you're building. You might do that and say, okay, I want to change these images here. And now that looks better. Whereas if you're doing like more of a maybe more of a blog post, more of a dynamic site, you might not be as interested in editing the content itself. You're doing more of the
Yeah. Oh, that's interesting. It should update that these should go away if you add to
How
one.
did you get your images to be so small?
I used a pattern. So like if let me select back out of it. I don't think I can go back to the, so like when doing the setup, I purposely wanted one with small images. I just scrolled through, and this one's like set to be pretty narrow, which I
that's
tend to like.
That's inside a column, is it?
Yes, this is inside a column,
yeah.
but it's in the query block. So these are patterns that are integrated into the query block, which is pretty cool. I'm kind of curious what post content they're pulling from, because like I have much prettier posts than this, and they're pulling like the worst. I mean, look at this. This is like the worst post to be displaying. Where like, let's see,
It could be to the fact that the query block, in my experience, when I choose sorting A to Z, it actually does it the other way around first time round.
This is also
You noticed
busted.
that?
I haven't seen that.
haven't.
Yeah.
But I don't think I've paid that close of attention to it.
I'm trying to select this darn thing. Yeah, because you have to then turn this off, and then like this will pull up prettier things. Wow, what is going on with this being off-centered? I guess this is some sort of bug. I don't know why this should be aligned.
You can have, depending on the themes and any customizations you might have done, you can also, like, your patterns won't necessarily be as pure.
Oh, right.
So if you tweak global styles in some sense, it might leak into some of the patterns and stuff like that. I don't know what this actually looks like. You have I don't know what's going on there. It looks like you have an extra.
I'm just trying to mess with things, try and break it. Yeah, I don't know. It's
like
almost
a
like
container
it has a
after your first one. Yeah.
It looks fine.
Oh, maybe the screen's not wide enough for. I think that's what it actually is. Your screen's not wide enough to, because you have a 3-column layout and it's probably not fitting in.
Yeah, because this looks fine.
Yeah. So it's trying to do. I think you selected a 3-column layout.
Oh, that was me messing around. I don't know.
Yeah. So if you make your content really small, I bet you it will.
This is fun. Break everything. Oh, whoa! Found another bug. That's not good. What?
Well, that happens in the post too, because you'll lose.
It just deletes it outright. It doesn't retain it.
Yeah, you'll end up losing if you adjust columns. It has to do something with the content you just cut off, so it drops it. And so then if you go back, it's not there. Hi, Birgit.
Well, hey, everybody.
Hey.
How are you?
There we go. Now we're back.
So that's a common. As I say, the columns adjustment is a common thing. It's the same in Pages too. Like if you put a bunch of stuff in or a post editor, it's not a template.
This isn't working either. See this?
What do you have selected? Oh, there you go.
White. Yeah. That's not good. What would this be? TT1 or would this be Gutenberg?
It's hard to say. The colors are coming from TT1. The pattern is, I think, part of core. So I think that pattern ships with the core, right?
Yeah.
I think.
I need to take notes.
So it's probably the pattern in core, not a pattern that ships with TT1.
Yeah. So we talked about this. I need to add in check. Oh wait, I guess that's not really a bug. With spacing.
No, the bug would be with spacing with columns.
Yeah.
So my hunch is your 3-column layout you selected won't fit in that space. And the colors, I think it's because it's a link. I don't know if you have that selected.
Like link color. Look.
But if you look down at link settings,
has the columns been specified in pixels then, as opposed to?
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah.
So if you make title a link, but still, like, let's say that's off, I should be able to change this around. Okay,
yeah,
maybe that changes.
But your link color is not working, so that looks like a bug.
So if you make title a link, you can then not change the link color.
Well, I think
Make
what's
title.
happening is the link color is not being inherited in that pattern.
Yeah.
Would be my
That's
guess.
what
Not
I'm
inherited
thinking,
in
yeah.
pattern. Fine. I love finding this stuff. This is like my favorite part of this.
Which I don't know why it
Everybody
wouldn't be.
loves you
'cause-
for it. And
yeah.
More issues in GitHub. It's funny because all this week I've been trying to keep it below, like to have it show 3K rather than like there's a group of us that are on like a mission to keep, oh damn it, we're at 3.1.
Oh, it's impossible.
I know it's totally impossible, but it's a fun
well,
like
I closed one today
yes.
from July 2020.
Wow.
Yeah, 2020.
The key is what you need to do, and I did it in the last triage session, either last week or the week before.
Mm-hmm.
I said, oh, you know what? Let me look at all the ones I've opened personally.
Yes.
And let me test this because I have bugs open from like a year ago. Like I should test that and see. Like I shouldn't be like pointing blame at others because I know I have bugs I've opened and then I just ignore it. Like, oh, let me just open this and you want to track it somewhere. So you open an issue on it and then you forget about it, right?
I have a ton of those, more than I want to admit.
Do you have more than 51 or what was the number?
Well, okay, mass closing my own issues. I thought about it. I think
There
I
you go.
have
You need to close 51 of them.
90.
Oh, you have 90.
90
So?
open.
Boom. We
Wow.
could go down to 2K up there if I closed out all mine.
Yeah.
If only.
Well, yeah, the other part is you have to test them and make sure they're still not valid. But
Yeah, this one I actually want to test because I think it might be fixed. This one's not. Yeah. Ugh. Girl can dream.
Just going to get a power lead.
Yeah, go for it. I did want to bring up this interesting problem that I think I've talked to like 3 people about today.
Like the post blocks and the post editor.
Yeah, so like all these theme blocks are potentially shipping, not all of them, but some of them are going to be shipping with 5.8, right? Because you can use them in template editing. But now it's like, should these actually be visible in the post editor? So like how to not intuitively, but like, based on context, show and hide.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense to make a, if I'm writing a post, the theme it doesn't make sense why I would add in a post content or a post title or post tags into that post.
Because you want
Great.
to display posts from the same category underneath it, for instance. Yeah, say if you're interested in that, look at those 3.
But that would be for
you could do it with the latest post. Yeah,
the latest post or query blocks or something like that.
Right.
I don't think
but
you'd
they're all
want
the
it for
same.
the title.
Yeah.
Or
There are use cases like post categories and tags, post other, because the theme might not display those. Yeah, you'd create a template though. That's what I would. Yeah, I thought this was really interesting because it is like, how do we display in the right places, but then also hide them without it being jarring? So like if you are expecting like, oh, there's this new block, I'm really excited to use it, let me just throw it into a post editor, and then you can't find it. That experience of hiding and showing, I mean, same with the navigation block. There are certain blocks you can show and use the navigation block, but not all of them. And right now there's not really a good flow to.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. Yeah, the post title, post excerpt, and these kind of things. If there's not a query block, they shouldn't be showing, I think.
Yeah, I'm really hoping this actually gets implemented sometime for 5.8 because I could see it just being a really bad intro to a lot of this, like just conflating context in a really horrible way. Because like I think the query block is the only one that really you need these for, and the query block in general should be a theme author tool. So it shouldn't be something that end users, like query block, in my opinion, should be fairly hard to find with 5.8 to begin with. That was actually
the 5.8 deadline was already passed.
Yeah,
to some degree.
To some degree, yeah.
There's bug fixes and improvements. Something like that seems like it's a filter. So that one can probably get merged in as a
enhancement or something.
Bug fix.
Yeah, it's a bug fix or something, because you're not doing a feature. You're not adding a feature. You're not really adding code. You're just saying don't include these in the inserter. So that's a very minor change.
Yeah, it feels more granular.
But I think the change might require a little more than just that, though. So that's where I'd be kind of hesitant.
Yeah, and this kind of the relation between query and loop. Like I'm very curious to see how, like what the version of the query block we get to 5.8, you know, and like what variation will actually be visible to users. Yeah, this is going to be so interesting. Yeah, this is the one I was thinking of. Add more context and perhaps only show the setting if the block is being used within a template. Yeah. And the fact that you can just edit the content, which goes back to being able to edit directly content, whether you're using Reusable block or query block or the template part. Like it is pretty wild how much damage you can do without realizing that you're doing damage. What was another? I meant to ask ahead of time. Like, if anyone has stuff they want to bring up and talk about. This is just my like brain dump list, but we don't need to stick to it by any means. But if anyone has any issues or questions, or this is one that I also have, I really wanted to chat about, but open floor.
I had 3 or 4 things from my presentation yesterday.
Oh yeah, I'm so excited. I don't know if you noticed by accident, it's the last thing I opened was copied and pasted was the link to your presentation. Yeah. I have it open in a different tab that I'm excited to watch.
You put that into the template, and during the presentation, I went to go and went into the site editor straight away on the homepage, and that video was supposed to have appeared in the front page template. And I said, oh, that's interesting. It's a featured image. It's not supposed to be that. It's supposed to be the video. And I realized afterwards that the video was there, but the only thing we could see was the caption. The YouTube itself wasn't included, and there was no space for it.
Hold on, there is an issue for this. This happened with Helen. Is it this where it's like you add a YouTube? Did it look like this?
Yeah, I didn't even see the bar.
Yes, yeah. This is some weird.
Yeah, if you weren't clicked into it, you wouldn't see that. It's probably also not just
I've got
video.
a number of different blocks which they don't put anything there, and you can't even see them. You can't select them if they've got.
Yeah, I'd imagine all embeds probably work that same way.
And server-side registered blocks that don't produce any output in certain instances do the same.
Yeah, I'd imagine like Twitter would do the same too. Any
Vimeo
embed stuff
was another one that was because I saw this with featured image too, where this thing happened.
Well, featured image shouldn't be the case, depending on what your featured image is. There's a Twitter one, right?
Yes. Yeah. Featured image happened.
That one's the opposite though. That was, if you look, that says it's in the editor, they see it, but when it's published, they don't, which is the opposite problem.
I think this is an image actually. Like I think this is supposed to be a screenshot potentially.
It's not an actual Twitter embed.
No. I think it's a screenshot.
Yeah, because it has his. You're right, because it has his phone power and all that stuff in there.
Yeah. Because I was testing this and then ended up giving up because I ran into another error and then was like reporting that and then was like, I don't have time for this. Like I was trying to replicate it because that's a needs testing label. But I've seen some weird stuff with featured image where it's like, but it depends on, I closed that one out, but it depends on, I think, if the featured image has an image. If it doesn't, it shows this weird bar, which is kind of confusing. And you can't actually act on the featured image. Like you can't add an image or whatever. And I think it has to do with imports. Like this one in particular, if you upload like demo content that has broken image links, you end up getting this, which is very edge case. But
I've been thinking recently, I've been pasting in screen captures straight in. I know that's not going to give the screen capture a nice file name, but I'm not too bothered about that. It's the speed of it. But then I actually want to make that image straight into the featured image and forget you're having the image as part of the content. And I don't know if that's something we should consider raising as a feature request.
You should be able to do that by when you paste an image in, it will get loaded into the media library.
Yeah.
So then you should be able to
paste it in as a featured image and forget about having the image there.
Oh, I don't understand.
Yeah.
So it immediately convert an image that you've pasted in into the featured image.
So like, I don't know how I would do this.
So you do a screen capture.
So I can do a screenshot, yeah. And then if I want to add, nope, cool.
But then paste in the image.
Oh, this one I already have.
Oh, I see what you're saying. For the template, you can't convert, like you paste it and then say this is the feature locate. Yeah.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying.
I'm still lost. Can you?
It would be now you want to set that as a featured image.
Well,
For this post?
Yeah.
You're making it a bit more complicated because you're doing it inside a query, aren't you?
Yes. I think this will
But the
set
same
it as
idea.
the featured image. Like, I think
Can
once
you?
if I update this, I'm pretty sure it'll update this post. Like here, that was an SLC, favorite hike in SLC. Oh,
You have a lot of
I know, it's just demo content. Yeah, see it replaced it. And even has it here.
Huh.
But I think that's where
Getting
editing
more of
the,
it.
yeah, this is like real extra.
Well, you also
Oh.
now have, wait, go back. This is your problem. Scroll up. Keep going. Look at that. Look at your title. You changed your title colors and background to, instead of just on that page you were on, you actually changed it on the post. Is that right?
Oh dear, it seems so. I mean, let me also see, you also have to realize that each of these posts, I sometimes just go in and edit and then set random default templates. So yeah, my test site is very convoluted.
Yeah. You need to
Do you
start
have an
fresh
auto
sometimes.
picker for your
Oh, it's so
featured
bad.
template?
Yeah, I'm real bad with
But
it. Just,
I think that might be what it's another symptom of the same problem of not knowing, am I editing the template or am I editing the content?
yeah,
and so
that's
if you
actually,
edited the colors on the content, that's what it looked like you actually just changed. You changed the colors on the content and not on the template.
yeah, that's bizarre. Hold on, I'm trying to figure out how you would like, let me see how I can test if I put.
If you go to view code,
Single
you should be
code?
able to see it here.
I just want to see what.
In the like control, hit like
Yeah,
mash all the keys and M. No, I was saying in the editor itself, you'd be able to see it.
Oh, what do you mean?
If
In
you
here,
do,
go to the
Code editor.
code editor in the
Oh.
top. Yeah, that guy.
Yeah,
but then you would
mash
be
all the
under.
keys.
Oh, it doesn't
That's
show
it.
it for the title.
No,
No.
it doesn't show the template.
No,
It shows the
no,
post
it
you're
doesn't.
editing.
Yeah. I was thinking of yeah.
Bit of a
Yeah,
shame
because
if
I
you
was.
want.
Hold on, we're gonna mess with this because this is too much fun.
Actually, that you shouldn't have been able to change that too, because that
Yeah,
would
I
have
shouldn't
been
have because that was in the query block.
that was the title, not the. I was thinking it was content in your post.
Yeah, but now I'm curious if we just broke
Gonna have
through
real
like.
fun there.
Yeah, because like let's see if I change the colors. Oh, the stupid error. Okay, like what ends up happening? Oh, jeez, Louise, hold on. Let me change this damn template out of this. God, I don't even know what this is going to show, to be honest. Okay, it doesn't. It just changes it here. Okay, I was afraid it was literally editing the post title somehow, but it's just editing within the query block still.
Yeah.
Wow, that was fun. What a rabbit hole.
So you just edited that title at some point to look like, or that template or whatever it might be.
Yes,
to look
I
like
switched.
That. Okay,
yeah, I
okay,
was switching back
okay.
and forth between.
Okay.
Don't trust, honestly. I really should just create a brand new test site every time I run one of these because I get myself in trouble.
That's just delete all the templates and stuff you already have you mess with, and then like that's all in the database. So like you keep TT1 blocks.
I mean, I recently cleared them out, but I just need to.
3 of them.
Yeah,
Got 14 back.
I think this is literally from the last 2 days, which is kind of wild. There was a weird Firefox bug that I was trying to track down. But yeah, I'm super keen. I really hope this makes it in because I think it'll be a good user experience. Like I could just see a ton of feedback coming in about these blocks. Otherwise, that wouldn't be very relevant if they're just able to be found in the post editor. So The other one that got brought up, I want to bring up that Justin Tadlock said in the WP Taverns post is like, basically like, I feel like my custom created templates belong to me rather than the theme. I can see a user switching themes after a couple of years and building a dozen or so templates having a poor experience in this situation. So basically if you switch, you build a bunch of custom templates and then you switch themes, you lose them. Like they're still associated with the theme. So if you switch back, they come back. But it is kind of a jarring situation where if you're creating custom block templates and you want to switch themes, like in theory, I could see where you'd want to be able to still use them. I don't know if there's a way to like export and import. I mean, you can see
it probably depends on if you inherit design from the theme or not.
Yes.
Yeah. So if you inherit it, it's probably harder to make a template work with a different theme.
Yeah. And especially if that theme is like a hybrid theme or something, like if it's in an in-between state.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's very, technically, it's very easy to move them between because the themes or the templates are just HTML. And so it's just a matter of like, you can copy and paste it. You can import it. I mean, we need a mechanism to do it. Like there's not an easy way. And if you go to that template view, you can see here which theme it's attached to.
Yeah.
So you should be able to just change one of those templates and say like, you can't edit. What happens if you click quick edit?
I was just thinking that I didn't want to do it and
not exposed.
Yeah, it is, but if you could expose and just say, okay, apply this to this theme now, that could be a relatively easy way, or like copy it and then apply it to a new theme.
Yeah, you definitely could train that.
Yeah, like I think just building the affordances to do it is the drawback than actually a large technical issue on doing it.
Cool, I'll hold you to that. You can build it.
Well, I didn't say that.
Too bad. This is recorded. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, I like that.
Those templates are embedding template parts, though, don't they specify the theme that they come from? And then there's some code that automatically replaces the template, the theme in the template part embedding with the current theme.
Yes, I believe so. So I think the same, if you go to the template parts view, you have the same right column says what theme it's a part of. So if you created a new one while you're in another theme, like whatever, like if you create a new one right now.
Oh, it'll still be TT1, but if I can.
Yeah, because that's the theme you have active.
Yeah, hold on. Let me switch to like, can I create? Yeah. Testing all day. We'll see what happens. Post-publish, that's not good. These notifications drive me nuts.
See, so now it has the theme for whatever template part you created.
That's fine.
But you can't change, you can't edit this slug either. You might be able to edit on this page. I think I've tried.
Oh, here we go.
I don't think
so. I've tried it.
I don't think it works.
No.
Yeah, I don't think it works.
Bummer.
And that's another piece. I think there's an issue created already to clean up all the items that, like when you click at it, a lot of those things aren't.
Yeah, you posted an issue about that where you're like, you can't. Yeah, I can't remember what it was.
So
they're not relevant at the moment.
Yeah, I see a whole empty description.
Yeah.
Column there. Is that?
You can't fill it in either anywhere. So if you click at it here, theoretically that excerpt could be the description.
Okay.
But it doesn't work if you update it. And
I mean, we can try.
We should also make it accurate to reflect what it is. If we're editing a template part and you're in this view and that's going to edit the description, it should say description and not excerpt.
Yep.
And whatever it might be. And then so I think a lot of those pieces.
Yeah, but they kind of didn't get through because they're not going to be exposed to 5.8. Is that kind of?
I believe this is going to be exposed though, no?
Oh.
No. I don't think template parts are going to be exposed. It's just the template editor.
That's what I'm thinking, yeah.
Well,
I
it's
went
the
through.
same for the template editor there too, though, right? Or what's?
My understanding, we're gonna look at the post. My understanding is it's not included, like template parts. Or yeah, not even referenced in this. Let's see.
It doesn't take much to expose them, though.
No,
No. Mm-mm.
no, you just need to
Yeah.
admin for custom post type. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't see this being.
So, but isn't it the same in the template? Like if we go to the template editor, it's the same.
What do you mean? If I go to the template link, I'll open up a new page. That's why my test sites are wild.
Mm-hmm.
So you can add a template part block and create a new one here. But like, I think they might even be considering not including the template part block as
Okay.
part of the theme blocks. And from my understanding, that's going to be the case, is that template parts are not necessary because the site editor is not shipping. So that's going to be completely a null and void.
Okay. So the sidebar of the templates won't be there at all then either. So this is one view into it.
So if you have a universal theme and you can't have template parts and you create a custom template, then you won't be able to use shortcodes in it.
Oh yeah,
So-
I can't imagine that.
So you might think, what do I want to do that for then? Because I'm in a hybrid environment where I used to live on shortcodes and now I can't use them.
Yep. Conventional, classic conundrum.
Yeah, this is interesting. This has also been updated recently. Before, I used to just say footer, like you could assign areas differently. But yeah, this is, I don't even know if the template part block is gonna make it in. I can't remember. Let me see, classic blocks. This should show, yeah, template parts not going to be enabled without full site editing. So this will not be going in 5.8 as far as I'm aware.
Okay.
Yep.
This is
But
what
then
I've been
will
checking.
so if you go to the WP admin, then the menus listed under appearance won't be there at all.
Correct. Oh yeah. That whole situation with like what's going to show underneath there is going to be very different. Like I think right now, like let me, no, I won't do that. But
Because
yeah.
I always think of that as the template editor.
Oh,
so
going in here.
Well, yeah, because
So-
you're clicking on templates and you're going to edit templates.
No, the
So
only
maybe
pathway will be through like editing a poster page and then editing templates. From what I understand, maybe there will be one, like maybe templates will be under appearance, but I don't think that's been decided yet.
Okay.
I'm not sure
how
though.
would we? Oh, okay. How will we know? Is that something that's merged into core?
Yeah,
So
that would have to be
10
merged in
point-
the core.
Yeah, 10.6 was merged already.
Yes.
So if you, yeah.
Well, part of it is I think because there's a longer bug fix period and beta period, some of this stuff is being like refined a bit later than usual.
Well, there's also, regardless of being merged, there's also like a disabling of features and stuff too, right? So like core can run with the default, don't register these post types, don't register this and that. And so then things just won't show up.
Yeah.
But then you could probably, my hunch would be that the code is actually still there and you could run the action to register it and it will show up, which I think is a decent way to like, yeah, it's like a technology preview of some sort to say, okay, like for theme developers, if you want to access this, add this action or enable using this hook, and then you can, play with them or not.
Yeah.
So
Definitely.
I don't know if that's a mechanism they'll use or not.
Yeah.
Well, it would be just a lot easier just to enable Gutenberg, wouldn't it?
Well, I think that's what's going to end up happening, to be honest, is like, I think because not all of these theme blocks are going to be shipped, that theme authors, when they are like, there's a certain framework that's going to be available with 5.8 that they can use to build block themes, but to really, unlock all of it, you're going to probably still have to use Gutenberg to build things out. And I think that that's going to be probably the expectation at this point.
Activate the plugin and you get it all.
Yeah. wow, we're at 45 minutes already. What happened? this is what ends up happening is I have like a whole list of other things and we get through like 4. It's so funny how this,
yeah, it's total time suck.
total time suck. Could literally talk about full sighting for forever. Before we wrap up, I do want to just flag, again, the upcoming schedule. So next week, I'm going to do a call for testing, the 7th one, the same day that the last one ended. We're on a very tight loop, so it's like 2-week cycles right now rather than 3 weeks, but it's partially just to get the feedback to folks. And it'll be a similar template editing themed call for testing. I was talking to some folks this morning about what to do it on. Haven't made it up yet, so we'll see.
We had a discussion last night about the testing. If someone was to just come in and start fresh, and they was to start with test 6, would they actually know what they're doing, or would they have to go back and really do 1, 2, 3, 4?
No, definitely not. My God, oh, that would be a horrible way to. Yeah, no. They're purposely set up to be contained. It's kind of like if you're, I don't know, they're not interrelated enough where you'd have to like build up your test site in order to then test the 6th version. I thought about doing it that way actually, where like by the end of the 5th call for testing, you'd have like a fully built site. But then once I saw like the level of community engagement and how people were coming in and out, I was like, this is a dumb idea. Like this. So yeah, someone can jump in whenever for any call for testing. And
the brilliant part was actually that you have this little video, the 7-minute video where you could actually follow along before you do it yourself. So that's pretty good.
Yeah, a silent video. I will say I'm
silent
worried.
Movie.
Yeah, silent movie. I am worried about in the future, like I think between 5.8 and 5.9, one of the things that's on my mind is to do more open-ended where I'm not guiding things as much, because we're missing so much feedback probably. If we said, hey, create this, and then having people struggle with their way through it rather than here's every step,
That'd be my concern, is if we're guiding people too much, because then we're not seeing what points are they struggling. What are they looking for, right? If we say a template part is called a template part.
Yes. Yeah.
We know that, and we just told you that. But like when you come fresh and you're saying like, oh, I'm looking for a whatever it might be, you like think of it as a section or something different, or an include or something else. And so I think we are missing out of.
Well, what I plan on doing is like similar to the query quest one. At the very end, I had like customization instructions ideas. I plan to do this again, where it's like, and probably having. This is, again, I haven't fully made this up, but basically say like, we're going to do a portfolio, you're going to create a portfolio page, and you're going to use the query block and whatever. And basically like set people free to do things and say like, here are 4 different visuals, get some designers or something to be like, here are 4 different styles, see what you can create using template editing mode and the query block. And then like, if people get stuck, that's when I have these like short videos saying like, if you get stuck, here's how to do these things. So people aren't, because part of it is it's like both feedback and getting people excited. So I don't want to completely leave people out to dry, just like completely stuck. But yeah, it's been tough to kind of navigate getting the right type of feedback without just setting people up for failure. Like this last call for testing, I ran into so many bugs, like the post content block and a couple other things with the navigation block. There was like a regression where it was like, God, how do I guide people through this where they're not going to end up just totally like dead end,
Do not click here.
Yeah. It's like, don't tell me about this bug. I already know it's there. I've reported it.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's the hard part too, is how do you gather feedback, new feedback, right? There's a lot of things where, and that's where like a lot of people say user testing, after you get to 3 or 4,
you're just getting the same stuff.
Well, you usually generate enough. There's enough noise at whatever level they get to. That you have to fix all those bugs before you can get to the deeper ones.
Which I will say I'm very excited. This current call for testing, I just flagged for like key issues that I've come up with template editing mode for Riyadh, because it is getting very clear. Like these are the fall off points, and I'm excited to kind of get that for even more of that for the full test.
Yeah, but I can see that somebody, like Herb said, somebody comes totally new. It's like throwing them in the deep end of the pool and trying to let them swim. So you need to give them some guidance Yeah, and
Yeah,
early wins. So
that's kind of what the feature review is for. But yeah, I agree. Like I've been very torn about how much of these videos to do and what to. This next time will not have a similar video as this. It'll be.
Well,
No, I don't know. I
I
think
looked the
more
video, so I
videos-
don't have to do the test. So.
Damn it, Virgin.
Well, yeah, the
Oh, it
hard
works.
part is that
No.
yeah, if we look 6 months out or something, right? If we like, okay, this is launched, and then people are going to come to it like brand new, and how are they going to experience it without like, oh, I just installed WordPress and I heard that you can do this.
Mhm.
You know, they won't have any of this guidance until.
No.
So yeah, having those
It's
parts
tough,
in
man.
there. Yeah.
I
Or
mean,
but what were you going to
this
say?
is
I'm sorry if I
unlisted.
cut you off.
I think the
Oh, stop
videos
sharing.
are marvelous. The more videos there are, the better.
Yeah, no, I appreciate you saying that. If you have any requests, the template editing one was like near and dear to my heart. I plan to do more though, because I do think it's a good tactic just to like, I mean, I'm not a professional video producer by any means. So it's like, if I can just get something out there and then send it to the people who are really good at it, I'd love to kind of, get the right information to the right people who will do a 10 times better job than I will. Like you know how to talk to stuff with Gutenberg Times in a way that I'm like, I don't have no idea. I'm just going to write this book, like we all play a part. So it's kind of fun, but well, I don't want to take too much more of y'all's time. I appreciate this.
I have one simple question.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll end on it.
Herb's questions are never simple.
Responsive menus.
Mhm.
About it yesterday, and I said, "Oh yeah, it's coming." And then today I looked and thought, "Oh, it's already there." And I thought, so I call it a hamburger menu. Why is it? Why hasn't it got any meat in the hamburger?
Marcus can answer.
What do you mean by that? Well, one, you have to be
Which one is it?
using the latest. It just got merged like this last week, so it's going to be in 10.7.
Yeah, but it's got 2 bars rather than 3.
Oh, the icon.
No meat. There's no
Yeah,
hamburger in
that
a
one
hamburger.
I can't. That one I
No
can't
patty.
answer. We have to ask Yoan.
It's a designer. Yeah, it's funny.
Does it not look like a menu, or what's the? It looks more like an equal sign.
Well, I
Or what's
just,
the?
why is there a standard of 3, I suppose, and
Okay.
why is it different?
Yeah,
And then I
but
went back to thinking, a long time ago, we raised an issue about the fact that the heading icon had changed, and we moaned about that. Raised an issue, and someone in design said, "Oh, we'll look at that. Yes, we might change that back again." And it hasn't changed yet. So
yeah. But thank you for surfacing that little bug there with the build missing the JavaScript files.
yeah.
Oh,
So
yeah, that
so
got
what
fixed.
does what does it do with the file one then? Why is there a file JS on the front end?
Oh, that's for to do the overlay. So we can do some we're using a library. I forget what that library is called off the top of my head, but we're using a library that adds additional accessibility for the overlay. So it can be keyboard accessible and you can tab into it, you can open and close it. So it needs a little bit of JavaScript. We can't do it all with just CSS.
Okay.
So we have a little bit of JavaScript for that aspect. That's what took the responsive menu a bit longer to develop, because Gutenberg hadn't at any other point included JS on the front end at all. So this was the first JavaScript that got included on the front end. So we had to make sure it's only getting included when that block is used. It's not getting put everywhere, and how to get it out there in a good manner. And we forgot the plugin zip was the one spot we forgot to check.
Yeah, but there was another one. There was the file block also has a front end .js.
Oh,
and
does
that
it
one
now?
got merged in 10.6, and
Oh.
nobody noticed it, that it wasn't.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, the same mechanism I think got implemented previously, and then the menus got the JavaScript include mechanism got included in 10.6. That's for the PDF files, right? I think.
Yes, yeah.
PDF JS, I think.
We solved all the problems today. Just kidding. I will wrap this
we
up.
We just create more.
I mean, honestly, I'm about to open 2 issues right after this. So
yeah, it'll be tomorrow for me in 5 minutes time.
Oh no.
Oh well.
Well, normally
Thank you for
I
staying
don't
up so late.
open this late. Yeah, I was about to say normally I've been trying to switch up time zones, but yeah, thanks for staying on, and it's good to we've been slacking so much. It's good to actually chat live.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you very much for your answers, Anne. I managed to incorporate about half of them
Yeah.
onto the website, and I'll do the rest.
Awesome. That's exciting to hear.
I'm looking forward to watching your video from now.
Yeah.
Last night.
After the disaster today where I'd edited it and then it failed to render and just crashed completely, and when I reopened
Shit. Yeah.
I recover it, but oh no, I can't work out how to handle this audio file. And I thought, what's that about? So I started again. I decided there was one bit I wanted to remove because I'd asked a question to somebody and he waffled on for about 2 or 3 minutes right at the start of the thing, and it didn't appear all that relevant. So I cut that out. But then there's other bits where I haven't edited out. So there's certain pauses and other strange.
That's fine. It's just,
but it's, you know,
because it's
by the time you get to the end of a 1 hour and 19-minute video or something, you probably don't really care.
It's so true.
Just play it at 1.75 speed and it should be.
Everyone sounds great at that speed.
Right.
Except me, I think I sound too fast, but
yeah, that was I do a podcast with my friends and we end up like the first couple ones we're editing out all the uhs and ums and like, oh, let's like make this all perfect. And we're like,
that's great. Yeah.
That takes too long.
Yeah.
I'll stop recording so we can end this.